folks, welcome. This is Tripathi and I'm back with another episode of the Digital Smart series. Now today I'm going to talk about SEO, and there is one topic which everyone asks me a lot and all the time from many years is what is the difference between SEO for B2C e-commerce websites and what is the difference between SEO for B2B sites. Now for you guys, you know, B2C is whenever you have a product you're selling online like Amazon, that is known as B2C. B2B is when you're selling to other businesses. So typically my answer is not a lot, you know, and I'll dive deeper into each one of them. So let's start with B2B. Now B2B, SEO for B2B, the underlying foundation of Google as a search engine, and let's just focus on Google because they control the market, is essentially the same. Is you gotta have good content, you're gonna have great links because Google still works on links. And for B2B, the four main things is you gotta have great links, which basically helps you with popularizing or getting ranked higher. So links are super critical. Second is have great content, which is your on-page optimization. Third is you have great on-page engagement objects like video or reviews or any other kind of case studies, for example, on the B2B side. And the fourth thing is the technical side of it. So now, when you are planning for SEO for B2B, the first thing you have to do is you have to look for keyword intent. Gone are the days where you're optimizing for each keyword. Instead, what you do is you create these buckets of keyword, which is based on your keyword intent. Remember, we are playing in a natural language processing, machine learning kind of a world. And what that means is it's not that one keyword, but the set of keywords which is towards that certain topic that's going to help you rank better. So for example, you are, let's say, an online software like a SaaS product, and inside of SaaS you have 5 different product features. So now what you do is you create keyword buckets around those 5 features, and each keyword bucket can have 10 or 15 different keywords, and that is known as optimizing for intent-based keyword searches. So once you optimize that and you write beautiful, great content, which is super critical, and this is where B2B SEO can score over B2C SEO, because you guys in B2B can create really deep content which can help with search snippet, people also ask, and just other kind of search queries. And when it comes to B2B SEO, of course you're optimizing for your home page, for your product pages, your feature pages, about us, and your case studies, your sign-up forms, all of those kind of stuff. But the beauty is you can write great content. It did not be a blog, but some way where you can go broader in your product line and deeper. Remember that. And that's what B2B SEO is all about. And of course, links. Links are not gonna go away. So build beautiful links, and at the same time have your server-side settings, which is your technical SEO, super critical. A lot of times in B2B SEO, what we have seen is essentially, you know, you're running a free book, or for example, you have some webinar going on, and you create a page, and after the webinar is done, somebody forgets to take that page out, and that creates a big issue when it comes to B2B SEO. Because you don't want to have all your pages on your server and then you forget to maintain it, because everyone gets a certain crawl budget, which means that Google bot comes to your server, they crawls a certain amount of pages. Now if you have less pages, what that means is only the most relevant pages get crawled by Google, and that is why it's important to maintain your B2B pages. Alright, so that's about B2B. Now let's move on to SEO for e-commerce. Now this is actually much easier in my point of view than doing B2B SEO. Why it's easy is because most of the products are driven from a database. So you can apply a lot of dynamic SEO principles when it comes to SEO for e-commerce website. In e-commerce websites, you can have thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of pages. What that means is you're not going to do SEO for each and every page, but you're going to apply dynamically where you're setting a certain parameter in your CMS system, and then it gets applied to all the pages across the site. Now, in B2C sites, one of the biggest things we have seen is duplicate content. Duplicate content is a big issue. Broken links is a big issue. Dynamic queries are another big issue. So anytime so for example, in the B2C side, if you have a product line, let's say for example you're selling watches. Now, if you have watches from say a certain manufacturer, that manufacturer can have 150 different models, and you can navigate to that watch section from 3 different ways, either through brand search drop down, for example, or through a model number, or through the company name, or whatever that is, or maybe what type of a watch it is, And because of this multiple ways to navigate to the product, what it ends up creating is it ends up creating duplicate content. So as SEO, that is a super critical thing. And of course, you're going to optimize your descriptions. Description is another place where we have seen that most companies use the standard description that comes from the manufacturer. When it comes from the manufacturer, remember, there are about hundreds of sites which are using the same description. So again, as SEO, you got to take care of it. And the server side, or the technical SEO, is super critical when it comes to B2C SEO. And what I mean is not just the dynamic queries, but making sure that the redirects are happening. It's at server level, so it's permanent redirect. And the dynamic queries are super critical, and all those on-page optimization. Also remember, your affiliates are gonna drive a lot of links for you, so you have to make sure who's actually selling your products. And essentially, again, links are still gonna play a huge part. Also, your social signals, how you are listed, your review sites, and all of those other things also play a huge part when it comes to B2C SEO. So that's all I have. Again, you can go on, and I can go on and on, but essentially to understand, this is the big or the major differences when it comes to B2B and B2C SEO. So hope you enjoyed this little video from our Digital Smart Series, and tune in for our next episode on Digital Smart Series. Thank you.